What is going on, everybody? Ladies, gentlemen, and others. Welcome to episode number 20. Yeah, I had to double check. 20. Holy crap, we've done 20 of these things?
Somehow.
Mother of God. Welcome to episode 20 of No Bucks Given. You guys know me. My name is Pierre because my bladder's empty. Welcome to No Bucks Given, the roundtable podcast where we talk about everything and anything going on in the world. What?
Why did it take me so long to understand? Like, Pierre, what the fuck?
Pierre, because my bladder's empty. Yeah,
I did.
I legally changed my name. Yes. But welcome everyone to No Bucks Given, the podcast where we sit down and talk about all sorts of random goodies and things going on in the world. You guys know me. I mentioned my name earlier, Pierre. We got quite an interesting roundtable with you guys with us today, and different subjects and things to talk about. Of course, we thank you for tuning us in live right here on youtube.com/Horny Goat, and of course, the Horny Goat Podcast Network. Yeah, you can listen to your favorite shows from the crew on your favorite podcasting platforms, whether it's Google, Anchor, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, and wherever. And if you're listening to us on Apple, give us that 5-star rating. Give that Meltzer 5-star rating. It would always be appreciated because it helps kind of boost our spirits, boost our ego, if you will. So appreciate to all our Apple listeners out there. But I'm not alone. I don't get me started. Do not get me started. I am not a fan of iOS, but that's another rant for the day. Joining with us is, of course, our wonderful tattooed mama herself, Heather. What's up, Heather?
Not much. Pretty exhausted today.
Look at this.
Perfect time.
That's just
perfect timing. Not just in terms of the yawn, but then like just JP emerged out of the darkness. For those of you who can't see on the audio version,
he walked in like Clint Eastwood,
like Batman emerging from the shadows.
You lucky punk.
Actually, I think you're right based on the Clint Eastwood.
Make my day.
You're gonna eat my dick, punk.
Somebody's gotta eat my dick. It's not the Clint Eastwood I remember, actually.
I just picked up all of your coins and could not get up off the fucking floor. I think you can at least let Dad sit the fuck down. I had to go help him get up off the floor.
Yeah. He's like a turtle.
No more gummies for me. No more sweets.
He says that, like,
till next week.
20 minutes later, he's eating gummies.
Dude.
Off the floor.
They could not fucking move this morning.
It's a good time.
It's funny to you, Trek, but I don't think you realize how much fucking pain I am in.
Ugh.
Drugs are bad. Okay.
It's like a turtle. A turtle in pain.
Yes, I'm just like a turtle.
And of course, you hear everyone's favorite bear from upstairs, Canadian Basement. What up, Basement?
What up? It's May 2-4 weekend. Nobody understands that.
No, it does. No one gets that with your backwards, bizarro landscape.
No, I don't understand it.
Yeah, suck my dick.
Fucking, you're like Canadian Rick.
Yes.
Wubba lubba dub dub. I had a loony for every time.
It's a thing.
And of course, we got two of our somewhat regulars coming back in here. It's been a hot minute, but we got Black Hammer himself, Rayshawn. Right. What up, Rayshawn? Rayshawn, I know last time we spoke, and we were kind of talking about this a little bit before we got on here. Not a new, well, sort of a new job, but you've been relocated. How's the transfer?
Perfect.
Love it.
I don't even know what else to say.
Perfect. Manage simple words.
His transition went well.
Oh, Jesus.
It really went well.
Yeah.
I am working my way to assistant store manager.
Nice.
You're working your way to my heart.
He's already in there. Mm-hmm. Black Hammer is nailed his way. There's more puns. I can't. I'm on my pun cap here already with the nickname.
You've already killed me, Pierre.
Yeah. And we've also got with us the wonderful Trekopedia. What's up, Trek?
Not much. How are you guys tonight?
I have a feeling, and you can tell me I'm completely wrong here. It's because we're mentioning Power Rangers tonight, isn't it? Is that the reason?
Sasha Banks Naomi.
Oh God!
Hey, the Power Rangers things help because as soon as I heard that article, I said Connor just had a heart attack.
Well, we'll get there. We'll certainly.
Speaking
get
of
there.
the Red Ranger, there he is.
Da, 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 da.
It's morphin' time.
It's morphine time.
Oh God, no, the hips don't lie.
Listen.
Oh, God.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
He's like a duck getting out of water. Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna hear about this to work while you're facing.
I can't process what just happened. I love how like I was trying to say was JP can't move, but the one areas he can move is all that really matters. And then basic line about the duck shit just fucking made me lose it.
All of my brains exploded.
I think Basement's pants exploded.
Oh my god! I want to give. Well, I still have a bit of a brain cells going on here. I want to give some love to the wonderful chat. We've got our regulars, Alpha. We've got, of course, Paul Arzola, Jurgen. We got a new person, Louis Belmont Show walkthroughs. Pretty bold statement about. Yeah, it sure does. Of course, Rayshon's popping in the chat with us as well. We got Tim. What's up, Tim? And I think I hit everybody in the chat, so thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate it. We don't have too many subjects to talk about tonight, but we'll also throw some questions as we usually do. If you want to join along in the conversation, links for most of the stuff that we're talking about is in the description of the YouTube video. Should I promote the other thing that or should we? Or are we waiting on that?
What are you fucking talking about? Go ahead.
You know what? Just do it, bitch.
Fuck it. All right. We'll only mention this once. We've been kind of, for those of you who joined us for the Fall Guys stream, we did enable Streamlabs donations if you guys want to. Again, 100% completely optional. I will provide a link a little later on in the chat, but again, completely optional for those who want to help support the channel. Would be much appreciated. But also make sure you check out all of our other content we did in the past as well. We did Fall Guys. What else? What did we do last night? I'm trying to remember.
Somebody's got to put my kid through college.
All 20 of them.
I was just gonna say this: everything that is donated will go right back into the show.
Correct.
It'll help us make the show better, a better presentation for you guys, so we can buy programs to do all the wonderful things.
We can hire a bunch of Mexicans.
Yes.
Get a bunch of midgets. There's the link right there in the.
We'll never fucking do midgets.
But to answer your question, Connor, last night we played Jackbox.
That was it. I couldn't. Wow, my brain's so fried. I couldn't remember us playing Jackbox last night. But we did hit a bit of a milestone over this past week. We hit over 400 subscribers now. So Horny Goat now has 407 subscribers here on YouTube, which is fantastic.
7, you have 414.
Oh.
Wait, we're almost going to be JP's channel?
Yeah.
Then we're going to beat JP with bats.
I mean, those hips don't lie, so I can't damage those invaluable golden hips.
I'm going to feel that in the morning.
All right, awesome. So that being said, I think we should just jump right into it. And we very rarely, I don't want to say rarely, but we do talk about wrestling stuff, right? I mean, all of us pretty much all of us met / interacted because we're all wrestling fans of some point or some way, shape, or form, whether it be currently, formerly, whatever have been. But we might as well talk about the biggest wrestling story. And I just realized it was being picked up on like other news outlets too. So it's getting some pretty decent traction. And that is, of course, the whole Sasha and Naomi walkout. So to briefly recap, and let me just get this out there, and then anybody here on the chat can, of course, or on the call here, can correct me once I get through the whole spiel.
Wrong.
Here's what I believe happened. What?
You're wrong.
Perfect. Awesome. Right off the bat. Okay, let's do this. This past Monday night on Raw, there was supposed to be a 6-pack challenge where it was featuring 6 women that Naomi and Sasha were part of. It was supposed to be determined who faced Bianca Belair at Hell in the Cell pay-per-view, which is their next pay-per-view, for the Raw Women's Championship. Of course, Naomi and Sasha Banks were the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Apparently, they were told about the creative, and supposedly the plan was that Naomi was supposed to win, and then Sasha was supposed to go on to challenge Ronda Rousey, I believe, on SmackDown side of things, and they were both about to lose. They were kind of frustrated creatively with their directions as far as them being the Women's Tag Team Champions and really not doing anything with said championships. And so they got frustrated with apparently Vince McMahon and creative and management, all that stuff, to the point where they decided to take the championship belts over to the greatest member of human talent relations ever, Mr. John Laurinaitis, laid the belts on his desk, and walked out. So they left Raw. They had to change the main event. They changed things over and they had to go on with the show. But it was kind of in limbo, not really sure what was going on with everything because people were saying it was a work, it was a shoot, whatever it is. And that's still debatable. We'll get into that in a second. But WWE did finally address this straight on, not only in a tweet the night that it happened, but more specifically on SmackDown this past Friday, where Michael Cole basically took a moment on air to say that, that Naomi and Sasha let us all down, that they have been indefinitely suspended from WWE and stripped of the tag team titles. And apparently there will be a tournament in the future to hold to crown new WWE women's tag team champions. I think I got everything right.
Sounds about right to me. Outside of
right.
opinion-based anything.
Yeah, I'm just going off of the facts that I know of from what I did some digging. I tried not to look too much into like the rumors and innuendo.
Right, I thought the booking decision was to have Naomi beat Sasha.
That's what I heard. Naomi was gonna win, but then they were gonna move forward with each of them challenging for a champion. The two different champions.
What was going to happen is going to turn into a triple threat.
Oh, I thought they were going to challenge separate champions.
No, from what I heard, Naomi was supposed to challenge Bianca Belair. Sasha was supposed to challenge Ronda.
Yep.
At the pay-per-view, so they go in separate directions.
Right, but they are they are amalgamating
supposedly
the championships. It seems
supposedly,
right? Because the Usos now own both tag titles. Am I wrong?
Honestly, I don't see the big deal.
Neither do I.
What I mean is, I don't understand why people is making a big deal out of the situation. First of all, at the end of the day, a job
what's up, T and Couponer?
A job is a job, whether it gets stressful or not. I'm not gonna walk out because I'm short 3 people. That's my job. I got to figure out how to do shit, and lead the team.
Well, that's the issue at hand. If it's not a work, in my eyes, that's the issue at hand. I don't give it. We kind of talked about this last night, but of course, I was feeling
great,
pretty good.
No pain,
even though I was in pain, but I was feeling I just didn't care. The issue is here's the thing. And this is what people have got to fucking understand with WWE. And I think pretty much everybody here does understand that. WWE has creative control. No matter what, they have creative control. Vince will not, whoever it is that Vince's idea is that WWE has creative control over the superstar. It is their character. They created it. They can do what they fucking want with it. They don't like it. That's fine. So the idea, and of course, Sasha, she's had these breakdowns before, whether or not they were as bad as everybody said they were or not. She has done this before. Something to this effect. My issue is that Sasha Banks thinks her shit, and I'm stealing Heather's thunder here, I'm stealing Heather's words, her shit don't stink. Like, she can do no fucking wrong because she's Sasha fucking Banks and she was on fucking Star Wars. And look, the woman does nothing but flaunt her fucking ass and fucking half-naked body on fucking Twitter. And these are people that are all up in arms are those people that are in love with her and hoping to God that she shows them the fucking nude picture of herself. That's why they're defending her. They're not defending her because they think she's great. They're defending her because they want to see her fucking naked. This is what's wrong with the internet wrestling community as a whole.
They want to drink that juice.
They do. That is the problem with these Sasha Banks fucking stands, that whatever you want to fucking call them. They don't give a fuck what she can do in the ring. They just want to see her fucking naked. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
in the real world,
defending her, they think by defending her in their mind, oh, well, I defended her so she might show me a nude picture. Like, just shut the fuck up.
I mean,
in the real world,
sorry, Rich.
they will be. I'm sorry. In the real world, they will be terminated because that's job abandonment, I believe.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
if I was to go into my job and say, you know what, I don't like the way this is going, they would tell me, well, then find another fucking job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's
severance pay. Go ahead, find another fucking job.
There's a slight difference between comparing jobs, I guess, and like roles and jobs. I will say, like,
I wouldn't get fired. You know how hard it is to fire somebody like me?
No, first of all, most companies do not want to fire anybody because there's so much fucking litigation red tape they have to go through to actually go forward with the firing. They would rather just ruin your life so you leave instead of fire you. But I mean, in this case, I think like the bottom line is, I personally am still on the fence whether it's a work. Because, and the reason I say that, just hear me out, the reason I say that is because WWE as an entity has focused on it more heavily than anything else, that when it's come to releasing superstars or like problems behind the scenes, like I've never seen them have the commentator's desk come out and say this shit during a live event. And be like, well, it's like they let the people down. They let you down by leaving. I'm like,
yes,
that's laying on a bit heavy.
It costs WWE money.
It's not the first time they've done this either. I mean, when Macho Man left to go to WCW, Vince McMahon sat on the commentary table. It was like, you'll notice by the unfortunate absence of my partner on the table here that Macho Man Randy Savage is not with us tonight.
They did that with Stone Cold, too.
It just seems very weird, like nowadays when they kind of removed themselves from doing it for a long time. We're like, yeah, we did talk about Stone Cold and Macho Man, but like in the last like 10 years, we haven't seen this shit from WWE.
Well, it's CM Punk.
My counter argument to that basement is maybe WWE's sick and tired of these fucking
having to fight off rumors.
I can fully believe that. I can fully believe that. I can see that happening.
Right. So I'm not saying you are wrong. I'm not saying it's not a work, but the counter argument could be maybe WWE's sick and tired of these fucking superstars thinking that they're bigger than the WWE itself.
And that's the core issue that I have with this whole thing. I'm going to assume it's real, okay? Assuming it's real and everything is real, because it's probably going to end up that way. The people that come out in droves saying Sasha Banks doesn't need WWE, are you smoking dope, bro?
Yeah.
Where is she going to go, first of all, that covets women's wrestling more? Like, WWE had the best women's division, and they faltered on fault of the women in that division and the company. But where are you going to go? Where are you going to go as a woman in wrestling right now that you're going to be bigger?
The two women in that division that actually make it better are Charlotte and Becky. You can throw Ronda in there. She's just that big time fucking name that adds to the women's division. But if it's not for Sasha Banks
she's hardly ever fucking there to begin with.
Here's the thing. Her and Naomi, both of those two.
Naomi's an insignificant twit in the fucking cog of the wheel of WWE.
They're either always injured or always disappearing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck is going on with these two? Like, you can't demand respect when you're not there all the fucking time. I'm sorry. That's just the bottom line. If it's somebody that, like, Seth Rollins, for instance, did this, I'd be like, I get it to an extent. Because you're there all the time. You're putting in all the hard work. Kevin Owens does something like this. You're there all the time. You're putting in the hard work. But Sasha Banks is like a spoiled kid.
So because, so TN, I'm going to standard address is Tennessee Coopener, because TN is short for Tennessee. It's the abbreviation. I think
Sasha Banks' contract's up soon.
Well,
both of theirs are
with that, because they're suspended indefinitely. That means their contracts are frozen.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
All I'm going to say on this issue is they were slated to be put on the top of the fucking mountain and go for the World Championship in the women's division for both Raw and SmackDown with the 6-pack challenge. But yet they decided to sit there and say, oh, you're not respecting us enough. Motherfucker, you have the tag titles on your fucking shoulders. And now you're being put up for the fucking women's title right after that. So the two of you could be fucking Team PCB or whatever the fuck they were.
Right.
Team Badass, 2 belts.
Team Bad. They were Team Bad.
And yet, you're not respected enough.
I don't get that either. You're right. I don't get that.
Well, the worst part.
I feel like WWE is like they're frustrated with the booking decisions of WWE, which I get, but not to the extent that it's like it just comes off as it's all about me, and when it's not all about me, then I'm gonna walk away and go suck my thumb in the corner. You're making millions of fucking dollars, you dumb fuck. Yeah. Either play the role or go home and do something else and realize that the world isn't as easy as you thought it was. And I'm like, the problem is a lot of these people, like Sasha Banks specifically, like she wanted to be a wrestler her whole life. She put in the work. She got there.
But saying you constantly saying I don't care for the women. Okay, but why? You just say I don't care for them, but why don't you care for them?
I don't care for the women's division, at least. I mean, piggyback off of Alpha's point is because they don't care about the women's division.
That's fine.
I cared about the women's division when the women in the women's division cared about it. Before they were like, let's revert to divas for some fucked up reason.
Sasha Banks I hate her.
I don't hate her. I thought she was the thing is like I look at like the women, the 4 horsewomen, like the main core that came out of NXT, those women, and I looked like from when they came out of NXT, when they were at their zenith to where they are now, and I look for like, have they made the most of their chance? Have they actually developed? Sasha Banks has done nothing to become a better wrestler at all in my mind. She hit this level and she stayed at this level. And then she started to like fuck around with other projects. Charlotte, they're all kind of the same. I mean, Becky, I'll give props to, even though I'm not a fan of Becky. I'll at least give her some props, man, because fuck, she did do something with herself.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, Connor, you said how did you say that? You said
you were glad that they did what they did.
So what did you mean by that? And I guess I just don't understand what you're saying because I disagree with what you're saying.
That's okay.
You need to shed some light on what you mean, I guess.
So when I say I'm glad in the sense of just from okay. I'm trying to. It's not that I'm trying to be careful with what I say. It's I want to make sure I'm clear about what I'm saying. So,
that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Generally speaking, let's take Naomi and Sasha out of this completely. Let me just hit a couple of points that were kind of sprawled around here. Number one, I just need to state for the record, I hate the concept of the women's tag team titles.
Same.
Not because I don't think the women deserve the tag team championships. I've said this so many times here when I was doing the OK Fabe stuff, when I was on Fight. I said this so many times. If you have no depth in a division, you shouldn't have the division. The common joke on Twitter after the announcement that they were getting stripped of the titles was, we're going to have a tournament. With fucking who?
Yeah.
Like, listen, I understand throwing together people for the sake of having a random tag team. It's part of the mechanics. You use it as part of booking. I understand that concept, but you can't build a foundation of a division off of that and expect to take the division seriously.
Good.
It doesn't work that way.
I hate tag teams in general anyway, so
so just another pile on top of that. No, I get it.
No, women's.
You're hitting every point of why I hate fucking tag teams.
But it's not just tag teams. It's just like, why have a belt if the belt means nothing and you're never planning on making it mean anything?
Yep.
It might as well not exist. It like, I get it. It's like, well, we want to give people that aren't competing for this title prestige, but you don't really. You want to give them something to hold.
It's great on paper, but with the execution of it, and then you know, it was a cool idea when the iron was hot, and now it's been what? It's been 2 years.
Well,
should have had the championship.
But like,
Yeah, so
put some worth.
We got to be equal opportunity employers.
No,
is
but
Which
what-
I'm fine with,
Put some
but put some
worth
thought
on
into
the
it.
title. Otherwise, you might as well just put a name tag on the motherfucker and say "Good job."
Yeah, it's not. It's at this point, it's a goddamn participation trophy. It's
Yeah.
that's what it
They've
really
been
is.
off coming out with like a mid-card title before they came out with a tag team title
Yep.
for the women.
Well, first of all, the women's division should never have been split. It should have been shared between Raw and SmackDown because they do not
Exactly.
have enough women to make that fucking shit work.
Yep.
So go ahead, Connor. Why did you agree? I suppose you agree with what they did, or
The walkout.
No, let me be very clear about that.
Why
I
he doesn't agree with the walkout, but
I don't agree. I don't agree with how they handled it. I get to an extent that wrestlers can get frustrated with creative or get frustrated with their position in the card or get frustrated with X, Y, and Z. I understand that aspect, but there are better ways to handle that. I'm not glad that I'm not glad in terms of how they handled it. Personally, I'm glad they're gone. Is what I'm saying.
Well,
Because they're gonna pull this shit again.
Mhm.
And right or wrong, I'm not saying that what they're feeling is not right or wrong, but as you said, JP, this is not Sasha's first rodeo with this.
Mhm.
No.
And realistically, even if you take everything I just said about the tag team division really not meaning a whole lot for the women right now, right? Even still, and this is no disrespect to them, but like they're fucking replaceable.
Yeah.
They really are. Anybody is. And if you think of it,
Roman Reigns is replaceable.
I mean, is
I mean,
Sasha a
if he
bigger star
is-
than Naomi? Yes, but is Sasha is Sasha the end all be all? No. One of
Hell
Vince's
no.
biggest quotes in both kayfabe and outside is "No one is bigger than WWE," and it's
Mhm.
true. You had Hogan come through, you had Brett come through, you had Shawn come through. I'm talking. You get my point. Cena, blah 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 blah. So I don't agree with how they handled it, but I mean, in like Basin was saying earlier, the line of I believe Sasha's contract is up in a couple of months. I'm not 100% sure how accurate that is, but the point is that like I just think this is not the way to go about it. Do I think it's a work? Probably not. I get where
There is an
you're.
inkling there. There is an
No,
inkling.
and I get that. Now we're in an age where like with social media, the lines get blurred all the time. Presumably, I just think that I think more so than anything, it was WWE's attempt to kind of what's the phrase? Cover the grenade, so to speak,
Yeah.
in terms of like trying to contain the
I'd
blast.
actually prefer if they
Cover
did.
their own ass.
They did this. If this was a work, if this ends up being a work, I'd be like, good job.
I can tell you why
you might
it's-
as well play the fucking hand you're dealt. You're dealing with a bunch of IWC fuckers. You're dealing with a bunch of people that are like quick to draw on the keyboard. You might as well play with them instead of being so transparent. Because
I can tell you why it's not work.
but that's like the new age of kayfabe is to play with the fucking online community.
Okay, but okay, let's say that's the truth then, right? Okay, let's say that. My thought process is, what the fuck does this accomplish?
Nothing.
I mean, if you want
nothing.
to skyrocket, it doesn't really make sense. No, I agree.
No, because
But if you want to
like,
skyrocket somebody, you can do it with this method, just not
Yep.
the way
unless
it's
you're getting
happening right now.
tag titles. That's the only way I'm for this is if they're getting rid of the tag team titles, which clearly they're not because they said
They're
they're
not.
doing a tournament. Supposedly,
So if it's not a work, I say they're making an example out of one of their bigger stars by saying, "You want to be a fucking asshole coming to me telling me that I don't think that this works for me, brother," kind of fucking attitude.
Yeah.
In a fucking snooty kind of fucking way attitude that I know Sasha has it.
Oh yeah.
But here's
I
the
can
thing,
see her
JP.
going backstage. Vince, why in the fuck am I doing this shit?
Here's the thing.
Why do I have to do this? I'm Sasha fucking Banks. Because I'm Vince McMahon and I run this company. And that's what I say. If you don't fucking like it,
The one thing none of us will know or can fathom is how often this might have happened, where there's like, I'm not happy with my position, I'm not happy with the creative. If this is like the 50th time of them going there, eventually you're gonna be like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Right.
Right.
And
It's-
because it's public and televised and everything, the problem is, fuck this shit I'm out shouldn't be done in the most dramatic way possible. We went into his office the day we were supposed to wrestle and put the titles down and walked away. I'm like, what are you on Days of Our Lives? For fuck's sake.
Real quick, I saw that Cody, Federico, and Cult is Dead joining us in the chat. What's up, guys? Just want to give you some love, and we'll read some stuff in the chat in a second. But
is that fucking... Wow, Cult is Dead. He
called you out.
Yeah. It's,
I can tell you why it's not work.
I know who he is.
I can tell you why it's not work, because they took him off the damn intro that they do it before everything. They don't do that for work.
What?
Yeah,
they took him off this Now and Forever Together thing off there. They took them off the thing, and they also pulled their merchandise down. They took all their social media down. So I'm like, if they're paying a lot of money for it.
That's such a fast reaction from WWE. For a company that's like, you can shit in my face, and tomorrow I'll bring you back.
I was gonna say the one thing that I always love the story of, like, you hear about, like, we talked about different walkouts before, right? Like Austin, Punk, this Macho Man, and then this one, right? But the one thing I always love is the Jerry Lawler story in 01.
Oh yeah,
where he basically Vince fired the cat, Jerry Lawler's wife at the time. And he's like, well, if you fire her, then I'm quitting. And he's like, well, it was great working with you. And that's what happened. It's like, bye.
I was supposed to go to that show that night. I slept in, so I didn't know anything happened. Like, where the hell is Lawler? Why is Cole here? And my friend that just told me, he's like, Lawler went with his wife. I'm like, yeah, we'll see how long that lasts.
Not even a year, but
my biggest question with the whole thing is, like, especially this is like a take directly, well, it's directed at women of wrestling. Where are you gonna go that you're gonna be featured more? Like, what is the plan? I get you're maybe upset with where you are, but, like, what kind of pastures are you seeing that are wrestling centric? If not, I mean, I could see Sasha Banks moving to, I mean, she's not a great actress or anything like that, but and the only reason she was featured in certain things is just because she's famous somewhere else, in my honest opinion. But, like, where are you gonna go?
I mean, they better off at TNA than AEW.
They could
say AEW.
No, but Basement's point is, like, if they don't do something that's wrestling based, what could they do that's outside of it?
But even if they do something wrestling based,
I agree.
You're downgrading.
Naomi does have a music career outside of WWE, so she could go to that.
Well, Naomi's also like, how old is Naomi?
I don't know.
Give me a second.
She's got to be in, like, mid to late 30s, right? Is what I'm thinking.
She used to dance for the Cowboys, right?
Yeah, she was a cheerleader. But I mean, what I'm basically saying is, like,
34.
Oh shit, she's much younger than I thought. If you're gonna leave WWE's women's division, where are you gonna go that the women are treated better, or
and
even
Sasha's 30
more?
by the way.
I mean, we have had women fucking main event WrestleMania, where AEW would rather film somebody taking a shit on screen than showing their women's division.
So really, wrestling options would be Impact Wrestling, AEW. That's about. Oh, and then, like, isn't there, like, a women's?
It's the state of the women's divisions and all those. I mean, the WWE's not great, but the rest is worse. Like, it's like leaving the best of the worst to go to. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Unless she has, like, some grandiose thought that she's gonna be in a bunch of movies without, like, being relevant.
Well, she thinks since she's Snoop Dogg's cousin that she'll get his help.
To the D-O-double-G, you're gonna get fired. See,
Could fucking go lay by his fucking dick, bro. Like,
by the way, what pisses me off about the whole thing is that people are using the R word, and that's racism. And they're saying Vince is racist, and I can tell you why it's not true. It's called The Rock. So shut the fuck up.
They're going to use that term because they're people of color.
Well, first of all, I don't know. Like, if you have Naomi, who's a black woman, and then you have Sasha, who's, I guess, mixed, just they decided to walk out. How is anybody else? How is anybody racist?
Because they keep saying
both
Vince
champions.
is racist.
They're both champions that left.
They're all
They keep saying
champions.
Vince is racist.
I mean, the thing is, Vince McMahon can't be racist because the only color he sees is green.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, that
Nope,
motherfucker.
not wrong.
is addicted to money.
Yep. If he's
real quick-
racist, how is The Rock champion that many times?
Real quick, I want to give some love to the chat, like some great comments and feedback, and including probably the most decisive poll we've ever done. As far as I posted in the chat, was Sasha Naomi's walkout the right thing to do? 56% of people said yes. 44% said no. 9 votes so far. We're gonna leave it up there a little bit longer. Paul Arzola in the chat. This was
my question. I'm sorry. My question to all those are: why do you think it was a good idea for
If they're not happy at their job, then walking out is the right thing to do.
Well, then leave the job. Don't ever come back.
Yeah, don't make it fucking Seventh Heaven season 8.
The thing is here's the thing. My thing with this is, if it's okay for them to walk out, okay, then why are you still a fan of them?
Yep.
Because they walked out because didn't like a company decision.
A lot of people are fans of the person more than they're fans of the company, more than they're fans of the sports entertainment.
Right. Couple of comments in the chat. Paul Arzola said if this was any other business, they would be fired immediately.
Yeah.
They said now depending on the time suspended, they can add time to their contracts. Yes, that is correct. Yep. Same goes with injuries, unfortunately.
When they're suspended.
What's that?
Their contracts are frozen. So how much ever time they have left,
they have the right to
their indefinite come back from their indefinite suspension. If it's a year, their contract will pick up.
And at this point in time, Sasha Banks had a 3-year contract that lasted 14 years. That woman is always missing. Did Seventh Heaven even have Seventh Heaven? Did Seventh Heaven even have season 8?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's just
on a completely unrelated note, I am willing to trade Sasha Banks on my SmackDown GM mode for anybody who.
Would you like a Drew Gulak? Is he on my roster?
No, I have Drew Gulak.
Would you like a Gina J?
Gina J works.
It's a possibility. Tian Coupon Alpha says, I don't care for anyone who in the women's division anymore. All 4 of the main ones I can give a fuck about. By the sound of what Heather just said, it basically one step away from literally begging the world to kiss her ass. I mean, you're not wrong, or both of them for that matter. I mean, you're not wrong.
But I mean, I don't get it because Naomi has with both of these women have been given so much, at least from my perspective, have been given so much, not only in terms of wrestling, but been given so much time when they needed time to step away from the business. It's hard for me to see. It's hard for me to see the angle where it's I'm an abused worker, and only an abused worker should really walk out on their job.
Yep.
I was about to say, there's a difference between negligence at your job and job endangerment and safety, right?
I mean,
if
I didn't like where my job was going or the ethics they were doing, and I walked out, they'd close the door behind me and lock it, and that's that. I mean,
I feel, in the ass.
I feel like
you quit. You walking out is quitting.
Yeah, basically. And I mean, the fact that they have prominent positions, the fact that they have been featured, and the fact that they've been given time away when the time away was needed, from my perspective, seems fine. Now, again, like I said, we don't know. We can't get their viewpoint. We can't get behind the scenes of what's going on there. So there might be a lot of shit that's happening that we don't see. But from our perspective, it doesn't look good.
So it doesn't matter what's going on. You still don't walk out from a job.
Exactly. You know.
I mean, you can, but you have to accept the ramifications and consequences of said action.
You know, the funniest thing I heard is that since they both have time on their contract and Naomi is renegotiating their contract when she locked out, somebody's saying that this is a negotiation contract, their tactic that they're trying to play hardball.
That is the dumbest fucking... That makes no sense. I'm now fucking walk out. Okay, well, bye. We aren't going to...
I know. I told him, I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you negotiate and then do that?
Cult, I'm going to say that's a problem of the women's division as a whole. I mean, WWE's creative I think everybody, fans and wrestlers included, will be mad at because it's not great.
So Colt, Sasha Banks kind of fucking did this shit to herself.
Mm-hmm.
The title reigns that she's had where she hasn't held the title for more than 30 days, Heather?
She got injured every time she did one of those matches.
She's an injury-prone superstar, number one. Number two, she's a crybaby back bitch.
Yep.
She is. I don't care what anybody fucking says. If you like Sasha Banks, great. But don't tell me that she deserved, she is right in what she did. I don't think she's right in what she did. She deserved what she fucking got.
I mean,
I think WWE, if this is not a work, WWE is making an example out of her and saying, look, motherfuckers, we're trying to change the fucking culture around here, but it's people like fucking Sasha Banks that are making it fucking difficult for us to fucking change the culture here.
And not to mention, the booking decision was going to be that Naomi beat her to take on Bianca Belair. However, Sasha was then going to be taking on Ronda Rousey to win the SmackDown Women's title.
I mean, in my honest opinion, the whole problem exists with the titles that they have. It shouldn't exist because they're like, we'll take the tag team champions and make them fight the actual champions, forgetting about the tag team belt. Like, I mean, just get rid of it. Just fucking get rid of it, please, God.
If you take it as from a creative standpoint, from a booking standpoint, right? Even like women, no women, whatever. It is fucking stupid. I'm not disagreeing with that.
It is a really stupid booking decision. It puts a title or the tag titles on the fucking side when they need to be turned into something if you want to keep them. Or in order for you to just take the people, like, it just shows you they don't give a fucking flying shit about tag teams, women tag teams at all. But yet they still want the belts so that fucking young girls buy them.
Sounds like Basement's NXT.
So Tian Kupner said, do you think Roman will help Naomi?
No.
Why would he? Why should he?
Because she's married to his cousin.
Because she's married to his cousin? I wouldn't help her. She walked out. She walked out on the
Right.
They walked out on the fans.
Yeah.
And people are fucking defending this shit. Yep. They didn't walk out on WWE. They walked out on the fans.
I don't think people was looking at it that way.
See them compete.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I had lined up for hours to see a 6-pack challenge. But I'd rather eat a bullet than watch that shit.
There are people out there that will do that.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Well, the sad thing is,
like the young kids that are like big fans of Sasha and stuff that don't get it. But
I
like,
felt really bad for.
Rousey doesn't need to be put over. Ronda Rousey can put herself over. Yep. I don't know where people are getting this idea that WWE wants Sasha Banks. Ronda Rousey puts herself over. Why? Because she's Ronda fucking Rousey.
Exactly.
She doesn't need to be put over. She's already over.
I mean, this
philosophy of they're doing it to put Ronda. It's an excuse for people to bitch that Sasha Banks isn't being pushed.
But the thing is, I don't understand. Here's bottom line is, like, everybody wants to be like, they put this person over. They put this person. You know what they did? They went to work and did their job. They just put somebody over. Like, nobody's ever going to go out there and win all the time, or else they're going to be hated. Goldberg. I mean, you do what you do for a reason. First of all, the reason that Sasha Banks put over Ronda Rousey, and for good worth, because they're trying to expand the business. They're looking at pro athletes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for fuck's, everything they do is basically money oriented. Yep. And all the fans are like, well, they're not treating her right. Well, if they treat her right and they lose money, then they're not treating themselves right. Just learn the fact that they don't give a fucking flying shit about any of their talent as long as their talent makes money.
I think
they will do the best for them as long as they're making money.
I think people are so invested in the characters and not understanding the business aspect.
Yep.
Right.
I'm just sick of the people saying that Ronda Rousey, Sasha Banks is doing this to put over. It's an excuse for people to bitch, piss, and moan that Sasha isn't being pushed. That's the only reason that people say that. Ronda Rousey doesn't need to be put over. That's pure and simple because she's Ronda fucking Rousey. She doesn't need to be.
It
But she
also
also has
wasn't
to
gonna
be.
be that. It's that they're gonna bitch and moan because they're like, Sasha not gonna win the title. It's like you could get pushed and not win the title, motherfucker.
I mean, the bottom line is Ronda Rousey has to be made to look strong because
Yes.
She should be made
she
to
should
look
be like. I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, she could beat the living shit out of any other woman on the roster. So come on.
Totally agree with you.
So just to kind of recap real quick, we were talking a little bit about this before. I mean, like we said, this is not the first time that she's done this. Right after WrestleMania 35 in 2019, literally the day after WrestleMania, she lost the tag team titles to the Iconics. And then literally the following day, Banks canceled an appearance on a morning talk show at the last minute. And then throughout the week, speculation emerged that she was looking to quit the company due to frustrations with WWE. She held the impression that she and Bayley were going to have a long title reign to book the credibility of the tag titles. But with the two allegedly not being informed till last minute, they'd be dropping the titles. Her talk show cancellation was reported due to a personal matter, as she'd been dealing with depression. She asked Vince McMahon for her release. While McMahon denied her request, he granted Banks time off to reconsider her career. So, remembering that, I think she's fucking gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
one
I'm
way or the
also,
other.
I'm also
One way or the
curious
other.
to see. Like, I actually think her future, she ain't gonna be fucking wrestling.
Agreed. Agreed. I don't think. I think this is her last hoorah. If she does come back, it's fucking jobbing like crazy. You know that.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to.
Yep.
You're gonna
Have to.
Triple H did it when the fucking Click left.
Yep.
Yep.
Did what they did.
But just kind of remembering that, it's like, yeah, I think I think she's fucking done.
I mean, when it comes to Naomi, I wouldn't hitch my fucking wagon to that horse.
Nope.
I mean, her husband's already working, so why?
Well, her
Naomi-
husband, like, how many times has Naomi fucking disappeared from wrestling?
Naomi will be fired. Sasha will be brought back to the job and then get fired.
Or
Probably
not?
get fired on TV, so you can
Never knew or
take shit
something.
on there.
And I mean,
So-
Paul said like Sasha walking out could even have repercussions on relationship with Disney. What relationship? She was a bit part, man. She got nothing going on in terms of that.
She
Yeah,
She's
no,
a
thinks she
terrible.
should be in the next
First of
Star
all,
Wars series.
first of all, she's a terrible actress.
Terrible.
She,
She did a
she,
terrible job in that
she can
episode.
play one character, and that's the bitch valley girl, and that's pretty much her range.
Yep.
She's gonna be, I almost guarantee you're gonna see her in a bunch of fucking music videos, and then she's gonna disappear.
Well, she thinks she's
I
going to be
got
the
that
next Star
vibe.
Wars series.
Yeah, that's
I think she's bigger than The Rock already.
she'll have an OnlyFans.
That's
She'll have
funny.
an OnlyFans in 2 months.
I'm just writing that down. So everybody knows.
She's not
But
going to AEW. I don't see Sasha Banks
No.
going to AEW. If WWE fires her, I don't. If WWE fires her, she's like, fuck it, this is my opportunity to go to Hollywood.
Yep.
I don't know if she would go to AEW, and I'm not saying
She's going to AEW.
My thing is, if she doesn't wrestle, I don't think she's good enough to do anything else.
They have a Sasha Banks already in AEW
In terms of
later.
in terms of entertainment, she's
I don't think she would fit in AEW because
She-
she's not about the character. And
you fucking AEW's women's division is like smearing
shit.
shit on the walls. Like, I don't want to see that.
she.
Yeah, because that worked out so well for Ruby Riott.
And for the record, I'm not saying that like I
Gina,
don't
you're right. She goes to OnlyFans and she's making bank
get it.
immediately.
Get it?
That's why I said it.
Go ahead, Connor.
But did he? No, the only reason I say I don't know if she would go to AEW is because it really would just depend on money, right? I don't think, like, I agree that I think more often than not, she would probably just not go back to wrestling. But it would be a matter of if Tony Khan could sweet talk her and be like, hey, and then she's the surprise she's the flavor of the week, and then, and then she just falls
Oh.
back into, you know what I mean?
If I was Tony Khan,
AEW's women's division is showcased on YouTube and YouTube alone.
yep. If I was Tony Khan, I wouldn't have hired the last 3 men that were released from WWE, and hired the women that were, because their women's division is fucking shit, and Tony Khan's a fucking coke addict.
You know that.
But it's funny.
You can tell that guy's coked up 99% of the time.
So the poll has changed over in the chat. It has switched over to now 12 votes total. 58% saying that Sasha and Naomi's walkout was not the right thing to do. So the poll has changed thanks to JP's influence. He influenced the chat.
It's not that I'm trying to influence. I get it. I just don't think, if you're defending them, then you're a shitty person. I'm sorry.
I feel like if you're not happy at your job, you can walk out.
In the context that I read that poll, is it okay for Sasha and Naomi to say, we're not going to fucking do this? I don't give a fuck what you have to fucking say. That's the way I look at it.
Remember when your husband was drunk driving and we gave you time off to help him? Nah.
Thank you for bringing that up. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, this is the type of shit that I don't get. Like, obviously, everybody, it's a corporation. It's evil, right? Everybody's gonna look at the corporation as being wrong constantly. And in this respect, I feel like you could have walked away from the company before the show started.
Yep.
Right.
If you I'm not against somebody leaving a job. Fuck, you're not happy, leave. But timing, motherfucker.
Yeah, do it in the right way.
I mean, to be fair,
burn every bridge while you leave.
To be fair, we have heard about like shows being rewritten in the middle of the show too. So it's but I get your bigger point.
The thing is, I've been upset at a job and I've left, but I've left respectfully because I do not want to burn a bridge that I might need later on to have somebody say this and this about somebody.
They're pouring the gasoline on the bridge while they're on it.
Yep.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't get the idea of like picking that moment to do that, and then like I mean the one thing I'm genuinely surprised how WWE is kind of like gone after these guys. I personally think they should have always done this with talent. What WWE is usually like, we'll welcome you back. No, fucking burn bridges. Fuck these people. They fuck you. Fuck them. They're done. The thing is, you don't want us. You ain't gonna ever get us.
You don't want us. You're gonna get
us. It makes me think that, like you guys said, that there's more to this, and that I think she was trying to be a diva more than this.
Well, I'm sorry.
I think they got like you guys said. I think they got fed up with their bullshit, and they're like, "Fuck it, we're done."
Yeah, I mean, but like, it's just like the most dramatic way of leaving.
Yeah, but you don't. It's again. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people is like so invested into the character. Sasha Banks, Mercedes. You got to be a professional. You know what I'm saying? And Miss Fatu, you have to be a professional. This is a business, and the way you went about it, it was unprofessional. I don't care about the wrestlers. Like, come on.
The crazy thing is, too, like, anytime they're on camera, they are.
Yeah, but
they've always been.
I'm talking about backstage.
Yeah, I know. It's just like the dichotomy between like what we see on camera and what's happening backstage is
also
wild.
Technically WWE could sue them.
Yep.
Just
breach
legally, legally they could. But yeah, I think we hammered all the details this one. This one took infinitely longer than I expected it to. But
I knew it was going to be a long one.
Still good. Yeah, still good shit, pal. I mean, yeah.
What we know. It's.
Oh yeah. But since I have no other way to segue, let's segue into a different conversation. One that, well, if you're a fan of the 90s and if you're a fan of Power Rangers, this might break your heart. So Austin St. John, who was playing Jason, the original Mighty Morphin Red Power Ranger, fucking arrested over the last couple of days for COVID fraud. So I had to do I did some digging on this, and lately I haven't been bringing a lot of too many articles to the table, but this one I'm like, oh, this is a juicy one right here. So Austin St. John, the actor who played the Red Power Ranger in the 90s TV series, had his house raided by the feds, and he's now under arrest in a massive federal criminal case. One of St. John's neighbors tells TMZ approximately 15 FBI agents in tactical gear rolled up to his home at 7 a.m. On Thursday, brandishing what looks like AR-15s as they approached his porch. Wish he had a fucking morpher and a teleporter at that point in time.
It's morphin' time. He just gets rid of the bullets.
Oh my god. Zordon. So apparently it turns out there was a massive
That's the best timing ever.
Put him in jail.
If you can't see us because you're listening to us, Rayshawn graced us with his presence on camera by wearing the fucking Power Rangers helmet.
Do you have the leotard that goes with it?
Oh no!
Fucking full body.
The only one that wanted to
onesie.
see the guitar that looked like that is Kimberly.
Yeah, true.
It's a Speedo. That's all it is.
It's
so it turns out
time.
Turns out there was a massive federal indictment involving 18 people who have now been charged with fraud. The indictment alleges that St. John was part of a scheme to defraud the Small Business Administration's Paycheck Protection Program, which is the program that is designed to help small businesses affected by COVID. St. John allegedly got 16 loans totaling $3.5 million, which he used for personal purchases and not for the intended purpose. Even if it was used for the intended purpose, the feds claim it was obtained fraudulently. So he is flubbernucked. He did. He did. Apparently, a statement was posted on his Instagram saying that he is a father, husband, role model, and friend to many. The indictment detailed today is populated by a multitude of individuals, the majority of which Austin has no knowledge of.
To who?
Kids. We expect Austin's legal team to successfully defend against these charges and lead to his ultimate exoneration. We ask that you respect the privacy of his family. It sounds like he's basically saying it wasn't. He pulled the Shaggy. It wasn't me.
My question is like, what the fuck is wrong with like '90s Power Rangers? One is this, the other killed themselves, and the other stabbed somebody with a sword.
Oh yeah, the Red Wild Force Ranger was also charged with
Go Power Rangers, insane.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
The only one that seems to still be normal is Kimberly and Tommy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Tommy's an MMA fighter now, so
Yeah,
he
Tommy's a badass.
Well,
he
he's
morphed all right.
He's also still part of the Power Rangers that's being shot today.
Mm-hmm.
I always stand by Zordon. That's my favorite.
Gina's also in the chat too, and I love how it's like, I don't think he'll get much. Sounds like he just caught up with some lying ass hoes. Well, shoot, never mind my previous statement. I heard wrong. Little different.
They said it was a COVID scam. What the fuck?
So the idea was that it was fraud.
Basically, what it was is the government came up with a system here that every small business would still be able to pay their employees through this paycheck protection.
Oh, it's basically government handouts for COVID.
Right.
Yeah, for anybody that couldn't work due to COVID.
Yeah, it's supposed to be only for the small, like, mom and pop shops that need to be open in order to afford to not only pay their bills, but also pay their employees.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is that supposedly he got like 16 loans that totaled $3.5 million, and they said even if it was not intended for its purpose, and even if it was intended for its purpose, that supposedly the FBI is claiming it was obtained through fraudulent means.
You ever think like Kimberly from the Power Rangers had like a fucking strong ass jaw?
She still does.
Yeah, well, I mean,
she actually has not aged very much since. I mean, obviously she's aged, but like she looks fantastic for given the shows coming on 30 years.
Look at her right now. Oh,
she used to be on Felicity. She was pretty good back then.
Just saying, she's aged better than some. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah,
she's definitely aged better than Billy.
You'd spread her tits.
I have no fucking idea what the fuck you guys are talking about.
It's morphin' time, bitch.
Yeah.
Billy, who the fuck is Billy?
He was the Blue Ranger.
Yeah, he was the gay one. He was the gay one? Right?
There you go, Basement.
Yep,
Yeah,
no, you're right.
He was the gay one. Yeah, and he had glasses.
Yep.
So, Rayshawn, you're not a fan, right?
I'm not a fan.
You just had the...
Yeah, I just had a helmet.
Right.
Well, this proves Zordon does not pay minimum wage.
This is
Of course I was a fan.
Now.
I can't say that with a straight face.
Actually, supposedly they were getting paid like so little money on the show when they were filming that they could have worked jobs at McDonald's and made more money.
Yeah, when they did the movie, they were pissed off too.
Well, it was the 90s and they were teenagers.
Right.
I mean, every single person that is my age, or slightly older, or slightly younger, was like Pink Ranger. That's where it's at.
Yep.
I mean, now she's not bad.
She's a MILF. She's a MILF.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I'd run a trainer too.
honestly, I like Cassie as the Pink Ranger. She was a fucking
Yeah.
hot.
Was in Turbo and
Look at that
Space.
fucking white ass fucking mouth.
I love Cassie. I also love Ashley, and Aisha didn't look that bad.
Hi,
Oh, yeah.
Kimberly from the Power Rangers.
Now that's a version of the Pink Ranger I'd pay cold hard money to see, especially with the way you were shaking those hips earlier. I completely.
Hey.
Yeah.
He falls on the ground. Help me up, bitch.
Zordon, fucking help me out! God damn it!
Zordon.
What are
or
you doing,
fucking-
Step Zordon?
What was the other one? The fucking the droid. What was his name?
Alpha 5.
Yeah.
Alpha 5.
Yeah, he was also wasn't he? Like, was he gay? I
No,
mean, he's a robot, but
it's very effeminate.
Ay, ay, ay.
he was C-3PO.
He
At
was-
the end
he
of
was
the
C3.
day,
Yeah.
I was gonna say I hope Austin is able to teleport himself out of trouble.
Oh my God, Cult.
He
Yes,
wasn't when the FBI got there, so I don't think he could do it. Remember, the coins broke.
I feel like I
Colt.
just commit to the bit, and the FBI shows up. It's
Big.
morphin' time, and you start running.
the
He got
sword.
shot by like 18 fucking tranquilizers and fell to
He
the
was
ground.
he was high on 3 different forms of drugs, calling out for Zordon in his dying breath.
It's methamphetamine. It's morphin' time.
Beetleborgs were fucking awesome. Cult. I love that show too.
Understood this show.
Oh yeah,
I know we're talking about the Red Ranger because he
It's a bunch
decided
of
to.
teenage
fucking-
kids that get leotards that fight monsters
But like, it's like
and
they wear,
they become a monster.
they wear masks, but everybody knows who the fuck they are.
No, it's like an avatar that like it's like it's time to morph and it just takes you over and you become a gymnast.
How
Yep.
can you not notice that these fucking they wore the same clothes?
I mean, it was also like
Same
a
colors.
belt.
And the
It was
same
also like
colors.
a belt buckle, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know.
So I mean, it's like who could the Pink Ranger be? A girl shows up in pink with a Power Ranger fucking belt buckle.
Them?
Nah.
We were the Power Rangers.
I can't believe it's you, Kimberly.
Wendy.
They was always together
But-
and shit.
Can't.
Oh yeah. That being said, I think we have only a couple more articles, so I'm going to switch gears and do some questions if you guys are cool with that, and throw some
Yeah.
questions out to y'all in the chat and try to think. We try to switch things up a little bit, get you guys to get to know us a little bit better, maybe even to get to ourselves a little bit better. But I had some rando questions I figured would be fun to ask everybody here in the group here. So let me see here. I'm trying to pull up some good questions. So the first one, I guess these are like general icebreaker questions, but we'll go around the call, whatever you want to fucking call it. What's the best piece of advice that you have ever been given in life?
Don't be an idiot.
Well said.
The best piece of advice. Okay, so my father, God bless her soul. My father, God bless his soul. I was getting ready to leave for the military, and his piece of advice to me, and I think I've said this: keep your eyes open and your mouth shut. It's the greatest piece of advice I've ever gotten. I still use it to this day, at times. But if I'm in a group of people that I don't know, I usually just keep my eyes open and my mouth shut. So that's the greatest piece of advice I've ever got.
For me, it's pretty cliche, but I don't grieve the one you lost so much that you forget to live your own life.
Just fine.
Ooh, that is a good one. That is a damn good one.
Slap the shit out of me. Okay, now. Shit.
You're feeling things in this one. Basement
Hey,
Trek.
Jack, you want to go first?
For me, the greatest advice I've ever gotten was shut up, Trek. No,
you get that daily, you know.
It's that too. Well, it's just pay attention to what's going on around you.
Basement, you got a good one?
Yeah, it was taught to me by somebody speaking to a child. There's a reason you have 2 ears and 1 mouth, because hearing is more important than speaking.
Very true. My joke answer was going to be don't sweat the petty things and don't pet the sweaty things.
Well,
because I can't stop with the puns today. But the other one is kind of along the same lines of what you guys said as far as like
pet me daddy.
mouth shut, ears open, and truly listen. Sometimes listening is not what is more involved than you just listening to somebody talk or just understand somebody and the concept of listening is sometimes deeper than just what it sounds like. See, another bad joke. Let's see here. What is you? Oh, I'm starting to feel.
What is you?
What is your absolute dream job?
That's right.
A bunch of naked women.
Honestly, my dream job. I'm doing it.
Perfect. Heather, what was yours? I know you said writing something.
Walking out on Raw.
No.
Rayshawn, Trek.
As a child, it was always a fireman, but as I got older, it was to be a chef and an owner in my own restaurant.
Nice. Never know, it could still happen.
I want to be a fire woman.
I'm gonna be a fire bitch.
Fire crotch.
Like we don't help fires. We just show up to the scene and like slowly take our clothes off and take photos.
Somebody save the children.
We release a calendar every year. It's like people dying in the background, shirtless, sweating. This is Mr. February. Dead kids in the background.
You see in like the lower corner, it's like Rayshawn, professional fire bitch.
You see somebody jumping out of a building behind him.
That'd be great. Trek, what about you?
Years ago, I was to write for Smallville because I was a big super fan. That I think now it's just work at the theater because I have a good time.
Now it's to write for Bigville.
In the chat, Alpha's best piece of advice he ever received: take in and appreciate as much as you can because time doesn't wait for anyone. Gina said her dream job would be environmental scientist for the EPA to own a nonprofit for helping people. Federico said dream job as a race car driver, and Alpha said his dream job would either be a NASCAR driver or an NFL quarterback. I mean, I don't know. NFL players get the shit beat out of them.
I want to be an NFL quarterback. Look at all the shit the good quarterbacks get nowadays if they make a mistake. I would not want to be a quarterback.
I wouldn't want to be anybody in the public eye because
you better have great mental fucking health because you're gonna be.
Gina's gonna die from
fucking ridiculed and fucking.
Hold on, why is Kimberly on Trevor?
What?
Why is Kimberly on Trevor?
She had to go somewhere.
Why is she had to go somewhere so you put it?
I mean, she could come to me. I'm welcoming.
Who are we talking about?
Yeah, come over here, girl. Oh yeah. Now you found a new home.
What the fuck?
Get over it, Connor.
Rachel understands me.
I understand you as well, but you're
in basement. Seven Heaven went to season 12.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
that guy was like, wasn't he a child fucking perv?
He's a pedophile or something, yeah.
Yeah, ooh,
With
Jesus
the pastor?
Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, how many? Jesus Christ! I mean, that's the worst. Seventh Heaven. You guys like, hey, Maddie, you want to see a dick?
Behold. So let me see here. I would try to find another good question here. Favorite television network?
Oh, God.
The whole network?
Network?
Yeah.
Television network?
What?
Track? Come on,
I
man.
might actually go with Netflix. No, HBO. HBO.
Yeah, I'd have to go with HBO also.
My favorite network is, well, I mean, it's sports networks. Any sports network.
ESPN.
No, they can eat my ass. I don't
Fox.
watch.
Sports.
Sure can.
I mean, I watch Bally Sports. Well,
Bally, who's taking.
MLB Network. I watch a lot. NFL Network.
I don't have a favorite network. Oh, you know what? As a child, it was Cartoon Network. I give you that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what?
Adult
I hate
Swim?
that channel. I hate
You
that.
said, what, Cartoon Network?
Yes.
I liked it as a kid growing up.
It's so different now, man.
What was the other Cartoon Network where it
You know
had
what's the worst
old
network?
cartoons on there? Like
Well, Boomerang.
Boomerang?
The worst network in the world is
they
MTV.
had all like the race, the
Wacky Racers.
wacky races, the fucking that
The
shit.
You're talking about the Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Yes.
Yeah,
Those
like
were
Snagglepuss and
good.
yeah.
Cartoon Network didn't become Cartoon Network. It became like Adult Swim.
You remember
They
when
became
MTV
fucking-
had music?
It
Oh,
became
yeah.
cartoon shows with no imagination.
It
Yep.
did.
I mean, Adult Swim has a couple.
There was some good.
Yeah,
there
like,
was some
used to be
gems,
really
but
good.
I mean, there was some funny shit on there, but they might as well have just called the channel Adult Swim because that's all anybody cared about wanting to
Yep.
watch.
And I agree
well,
with
that and Toonami.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't like Tsunami. That
Well,
shit came
Um,
about
I feel like
twisted.
the worst channel is MTV. It's the
It
worst.
is.
No, the worst channel is E.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
VH1.
Well, the thing is, E didn't like hide behind something else. E was shit to begin with. MTV was like, hey, we're doing music.
MTV does
So
not.
E is exactly what it is. They talk about it.
It's you
least
know
they're
what we're getting
upfront about
into. MTV music television doesn't have fucking music on it anymore.
Nope.
Reality TV shows on here.
MTV can suck my fat balls.
No, MTV was
Heather and-
what? Come on.
Gina
that
said
was
they
the-
go-
You know, my favorite
MTV doesn't
TV
have
network.
music videos anymore, man.
Mhm.
Yep.
Nope.
T
It's
and
all
Kumar
about
said
reality TV shows.
It's
Like,
garbage.
Oh my
garbage.
God.
It's garbage, man. It's straight up
I used to
garbage.
listen to
Pregnant.
30 Seconds to Mars, 3 Days Grace, Avril Lavigne. Oh my God, I could keep going. The days I was listening to fucking.
Take a look at this
MTV.
photograph.
I used to love MTV myself, but then they changed their format, and it's not even music.
And they had a show on there, TRL, that I loved, but then it became, okay, we're only going to play 10 seconds of every song.
Yep.
TRL was pretty awesome.
MTV went from music to weird, very singular politics.
Went to Jersey Shore.
That was another show. It
I
just
hope
became
MTV
reality TV, is all it did.
Heather and JP know my favorite network.
Yeah, Bob.
Everybody on this call knows your favorite fucking network dance track.
It's Fox.
No,
God
Kids
damn.
WB.
Kids WB. It's not even a fucking channel anymore.
That was. It didn't say that. There's still be a network. It just said your favorite network.
You're a dumbass. What's your favorite
Hey,
network?
where's the
now?
love for HBO in the chat? Nobody gives a fuck. Fuck you guys.
My favorite network now will
Um,
probably be HBO.
Showtime,
A lot of people-
Showcase,
Wow.
Netflix.
I saw
Not CW? I'm shocked at that one.
Mhm.
That's up there, but all the stuff is on HBO now. So
Cult
I think
says
it was gonna be
TRL was
like
an after school
sci-fi,
ritual,
but-
which yes, it was.
You do realize WB bought all that shit, right?
What,
Teen
sci-fi?
Empire,
I know.
MTV Teen Mom, great example for kids today.
AMC.
That's a
There's
good
couple
point.
good shit on there. I don't know. Suck my dick.
Oh man! All right, let's see if I got another question to pull out of my arsehole. Say you're independently wealthy and don't have to work. What would you want to do with your time?
2 women.
Masturbate feverishly.
His pelvis is.
I'm gonna find Sally Magoo.
Fucking-
There's gotta be somebody in this world named Sally Magoo, and by God, my fingers will find her.
What a coincidence! I just legally changed my name.
Well, welcome to Massachusetts. I'll
Welcome
count
to
how deep.
Massachusetts.
I'll count. I'll count how deep I get by the knuckle.
Just make sure you do like the count, like the one.
Knuckle. Two. Oh no.
So we know JP's answer. Heather, what would you do if you were independently wealthy and didn't have to work and just do whatever you wanted?
I'd get my dad out here so he can finally meet his granddaughter.
That's
There you go.
son of a bitch.
Maybe remodel this house again. I don't know.
We could buy a washer and dryer.
Rayshawn, what about you?
I would actually probably travel the world and learn people culture in terms of food, how they cook things, and just eat different types of culture food.
That is actually something that I would love to do.
That's a pretty
Don't come to
good
Massachusetts. We have
plan.
shit here.
Don't come to Canada because it's great. Actually, come to Canada.
It's really actually. I've been to Ontario. I've been to Ottawa.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
No, I did not.
Yeah. Ottawa is the worst. It's like
At least
somebody.
in Quebec was the worst.
Well, they're all bad.
What the French areas?
Yeah, I mean Ottawa is bad because it looks like somebody like somebody that heard about how cities are made decided to make a city. And there's Ottawa.
Isn't that the capital of Canada?
It's we don't talk about it.
New York.
You ask anybody. I bet you go out on the street and ask what you go and ask.
Most
what
of them
is
say
this-
Toronto,
what is the capital
probably.
of Canada? People will literally say Toronto.
Yeah, just Ottawa's shit.
Case in point, Jurgen. That is on my bucket list to go to Ireland. That's on my bucket list.
It's on mine too. It's one place I would love to go.
Let's go right now. Goodbye, world.
Well, yeah, money. Fuck. Trek. What about you?
If I didn't have to work, I'd just get plane tickets to hang out with all of you guys, just hang out with you guys for a couple of days and just probably go home afterwards.
Show up unannounced whenever we want, whether you want to or not.
If I had all the money in the world, I'd go on the smallest
Just
trip.
You could sleep in my fucking shed with all the lawnmower
I mean,
equipment.
the amount of sex we would have, Truck.
Is minimal compared to how much chaos we could cause. It'll be the best 20 seconds of your life, but goddamn.
I'll turn you inside out, right side up.
I did find one other good one. If you're gonna sail around the world, since a lot of our answers were travel, if you're gonna sail around the world, what would the name of your boat be?
Oh shit!
Welcome abroad. That's Heather.
Fuck. Welcome abroad. Yeah, that.
I came back
Welcome.
again.
Welcome. Mine would be welcome abroad.
Mine would be.
You know what mine would be? You know what mine would be? The 28th bone.
Mine
Should be the 29th bone.
Mine would be Titanic 2.
You know, there's a second one, right?
There is a second film. I think
Yeah,
it
no,
made it
there's
to
a second
DVD.
boat.
It's like a boat.
Yeah, my boat. Because I named it.
No, they actually have another one.
You should
Titanic
you should
2, the Titanicing.
you should call it Titanic 4. It's so big we skipped Titanic 3.
And we call it Hope Floats. Which I'm pretty sure is a movie about some sort of like lesbian.
I will ooze. What the fuck?
You ooze, you lose.
I fucking laughed the Hope Floats thing, and then you're like, I think it's a movie about a lesbian or something, and I'm just picturing a bitch floating in the.
The Hope floats because we killed her. She's just in the backyard pool, face down, floating by.
Everything floats down here would be a great name for.
Now eat my vagina.
It's a rom-com, in case you're curious.
It's a chomping good time.
Heather, what about you?
You already answered.
Well, I thought yours was.
This
What was yours, Heather?
movie?
McGraw.
I gotta
From
look this
abroad.
up.
Oh, I thought that was yours, JP. I was okay. So all right.
No, mine is the 28th bone.
28th bone. Okay, got
Oh, Hope Floats is a movie. In 1998, romance drama. It stars
Well, I've never heard of it.
Sandra Bullock
So-
and a lot of people that look like mutants.
What movie?
Hope
Hope
Floats. It's about a woman that dies in the backyard pool.
Seen it. It's not about a boat though.
it. Ray Sean, what would you call yours?
I don't know. I'm still thinking.
There's your real name. I don't know. I'm still thinking.
So basement. Yours would be Hope Floats.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still
And in
thinking.
brackets 1998 with the IMDb like fucking URL.
Mine would be
I guess-
unsinkable.
I
Mine would be
don't know.
unsinkable too.
Now I'm surprised he didn't go with the orca.
Till I come.
Scar.
Eh.
Yeah, I don't know,
You
man.
sounded like a turtle orgasming.
What if you called it biatch, but he spelled it with like a yacht?
Yeah, B dash yacht.
Biatch
Yacht.
What? That is a good name.
Mhm.
or aquaholic.
That's also
Oh, I think that would be my name. Thank you.
Pun master.
Hope Floats.
Are my cats on
Oh,
Oh man. Let's see what we got here. Alpha, the Forever Morning Wood. Jerk in the final offer. Yeah, I thought so, Gene. I thought we might have done this question that boat question before, but still fucking great. All right.
Specific question. It was, what would you name your boat?
yeah.
Yeah. So, switching gears real quick. I know Trek, you're still thinking about your answer for the boat one, so no worries, take your time. Amber Heard, everyone's favorite person in the world of entertainment right now. Amber Heard. Yeah, right. Well, don't if you're a fan of her in Aquaman, don't take too much time because she has apparently been officially released from her DC contract. And of course, and this is kind of talked about before, she's not much in Aquaman 2, the upcoming movie. In response to questioning from Johnny Depp's lawyer during the case that's ongoing with Johnny Depp, obviously, Heard said, quote, "They released me from my contract and I fought to stay in it and they kept me in it. I just don't know how much I'm in actually the final cut." She would later add, "I don't know if I will even be in the final cut or how much I will be. It was difficult to stay in the movie." As relieved as some are going to be by this testimony, they haven't cut her from the Aquaman 2 completely, which is another detail she shared under oath. When asked about the movie by her lawyer, Heard relayed, "I had to fight really hard to stay in the movie. They didn't want to include me in the film. I can't imagine why."
Well,
I
Going
mean,
through all this shit with Johnny Depp.
I mean, the fact
wow.
that Johnny Depp was immediately removed from every fucking movie he's ever been in, and she's like, "Well, I had to fight really hard, harder than I fought Johnny Depp when I beat him on his face." And broke his
she wasn't
fingers."
really. Excuse me. She wasn't pivotal in the Aquaman movie, as I recall, right?
She was,
She
dare I
decided to
say,
wife.
forgettable.
Yeah.
Oh, that's her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I beg to differ. Would I be damned?
I mean, I would lose a finger.
She was like a
She's pretty
poison
much a
ivy.
glorified- She's pretty much a glorified canvas, like 10 minutes is what I've heard.
I'm not a gay fish.
Abuse me.
What did you say, Trek?
I said she's in the second movie for like 10 minutes, so she's a glorified cameo compared to what she was in the first one.
The glorified cameo?
Yeah.
Sure. Makes no sense, but all right.
I like this
Second
stance you
film?
have.
There's 2 films? I didn't even see the first one.
This doesn't affect me one way or another because I didn't care
I
about her.
mean,
In the
none
first
of
one.
this-
She
none of-
wasn't.
Anything we've
She
talked about affects me.
wasn't that big of a character. I mean, she kind of was, but she really wasn't. She's more like a sidekick. You can always find another sidekick. You know.
I hope
mean,
at some
That's
point in
Kimberly
time
picture,
she
though.
tries to take a shit in Jason Momoa's bed, but it just like, floats to the surface.
Yeah, Amber Heard. Like I said, everybody knows my stance on this whole thing. Both of them are pieces of shit. So I
I
really
know.
Blasphemy.
I mean,
dare you.
the bottom line is
They're
like,
meant for each other.
here's the thing: if you're in the entertainment business and you get, dare I say, bad press, then you're fucked. First of all, I mean, like she's like, I tried to fight for no, fuck you, you're done. You Johnny Depp, the same sentiment. Fuck you, you're done. Like
Right.
it's just basically what happens. Like, I'm sorry, you can't continue your regular life because you guys are fighting on the biggest stage of like the world for fucking shitting in each other's beds.
There was a petition out there that reached over 2 million signatures to have her removed from Aquaman to begin with. So
I don't
Well,
think
it's like 4 million now.
I mean,
it started.
For
I
me,
don't-
I don't care. I don't like that kind of stuff, to be honest.
I was just gonna say I don't think fans should have a say so in who's cast in a fucking movie ever.
Well,
Right.
they can have speculation, but they shouldn't have like
They
credence.
shouldn't be the ones to
Yeah.
decide. Let the fucking movie people decide that. Who the
Yeah,
fuck?
Howard Weinstein.
It's
Yeah,
like-
let Weinstein take him on the
Yeah,
couch and see
Weinstein.
who succeeds.
Wrestling. It's like these wrestling fans who say, you know, well,
I
they
feel like
should be
Weinstein
It's
is
like
like-
shut the fuck up. You don't.
Weinstein has his own version of Squid Games.
Yep. What's the matter?
Sorry, I got distracted because I just found something that didn't know was a thing, and apparently,
Yep.
sorry, it's something that just like my ADHD took over, and apparently there's a Steam game coming out called I Am Jesus Christ.
What?
I'll play.
Is that
I'm sending
Is
you
that
the link right
family
now.
I mean,
Is that
I
family?
actually have a game on Steam that's like a Jesus, it's like a Christian game that I'm like
Play
using
as
to
Jesus,
because it looks fucking hilarious.
but it's like you heal the blind. Like I have no words for this. You have to just see it.
I think I might have seen this.
Go ahead,
else,
sorry.
what else we got?
Oh, I mean, Jesus,
I think-
the game.
Yeah, the only. Oh man, the heal.
I got
Don't
something.
really-
I got
yeah,
something.
Yeah.
All right, we have to say we got one more thing left, but fire away, JP.
Go
if you
for
have
it.
something else.
One more thing. We can do this.
Go
No,
for
no,
it.
go. Your floor is yours.
So there's this congresswoman in Washington.
Oh my
And,
god, this
somebody-
I saw this
let's
shit and it blew my fucking mind. Like, are you retarded?
The minimum wage shouldn't be $7.25. Minimum wage shouldn't be $15. Minimum wage should be $30. And I'm like, so you're gonna tell me that minimum wage should be 4 times what it is or was? If that's the case, that person's making more money than I do. Person working at McDonald's is making more money than I do by that point. Maybe I should make 4 times what I make. I'll take $82, $83 an hour.
I mean, the problem is like this person is a fucking retard. And the truth of the matter is,
Actually responded to her tweet and said exactly what I said. And I said, just be real one fucking time.
I gave her a Judge Judy. You either acting like you're stupid or you are.
Walks like a dog.
Yeah. I mean, bottom line is like, yeah, when you look at like that level of income, it's not sustainable. You can't do anything off of it. To be honest, like living wise, is very difficult. But like the idea of like you raise it, you must not understand anything about economy and how an economic structure works. Because if you turn everybody that's minimum wage getting $30 an hour, you
A quarter bag of chips is
basically,
gonna be $5.
well, I mean, every single
Domino
fucking
effect.
store on the street is closed because or you're dealing with one employee and one employee only.
Yeah, it's a domino effect.
It's just like it's stupid
And
because like
Gina said it right.
it's so pandering, man. It's like I want poor people to have more money or people that don't make a lot to have more money, but like to what extent? Because you're dumb as fuck if you don't realize how it doesn't impact the rest of the world.
Bring in the kiosk.
So it's not the higher the inflation. What it is, okay, so let's say McDonald's starts paying their employees $30.
How many employees can they actually pay $30 an hour?
It's $30 an hour. Now a Big Mac is going to cost more than a fucking prime rib dinner.
I mean, I think a lot of people that don't understand are like, well, they'll just take the money out of the earnings and the higher ups will get less. The higher ups will never get less. It ain't gonna happen. They're not taking up. If a guy's making $1 million a year, he ain't taking a pay cut. If anything, it's coming out from below.
So everybody thinks that I don't know what people are thinking. So, well, these people need to fucking pay people, like they do, you motherfucker. They pay them from their. So McDonald's doesn't pay the CEO of McDonald's or whoever owns McDonald's or whatever.
Ronald.
They use their revenue that they make at the revenue that they make at said store. That's how they pay their people. It's how much the store makes.
Well, I mean, you can actually the thing is.
The owner doesn't pay out of his fucking own fucking pocket. Because if he's paying out of his own fucking pocket, he's losing money. He's not making any money. And then if he doesn't make any money, guess what? He's not going to be able to employ anybody because he don't have any fucking money.
And I mean, McDonald's is a brand, yes, but it's owned by each McDonald's is owned by different people, or multiple McDonald's are owned by one person. It's the way it works. I mean, it's not all owned by the corporation. Yes, it is to an extent, but it's managed and owned by an individual. It just makes I see that I cannot believe somebody that is like vying for political power that would say something so fucking stupid and expect people to be like, I'm voting for it. You might as well fucking hire Fred down the street that has Downs to run the fucking world. Because, like, what the fuck are you talking? Oh, everybody should make $30 an hour. Okay, well then everybody that makes $30 an hour should make $60 an hour. And nothing makes sense because all you're doing is uprooting the economy. The economy is a very fragile thing.
Congress is limited to 2-year terms.
But this is obviously somebody that's like, everybody that's making minimum wage, vote for me, is what I get from this. Because it's either that or you might have Down syndrome.
I hear you.
There's literally no in between. It's the stupidest fucking statement I've ever heard.
Right.
For somebody that should understand what they're talking about.
If you're talking about the House of Representatives, and that would be like Nancy Pelosi and all them guys, I think their term is only 2 years. Senators, on the other hand, is 6 years. Here in the United States. Everything else is 4 years. I think that they should be allowed to. Well, president is allowed 2 terms in office. I think 2 terms. Everybody okay. So now I see what you're saying. I'm thinking that they should be allowed 8 years at least, and then get the fuck out. That's what I think. That I agree with that, but I don't. Yeah. If they're doing a good job, why get them out of there? Well, none of them are doing a good job, but that's
that specific topic to me was like, are you fucking brain dead?
That's this. I can't even remember who it was.
I don't know who it was either.
Rachel, you responded to it as well. You responded to the tweet. You responded to what I said. It's just like, yeah. You that or Drew, I think, responded.
no,
to it.
it was Drew, and you responded to Drew, and I responded to the actual team because
I responded to her,
it
and then
was dumb.
Drew responded to what I said, and then I said, "Yep, I totally agree," and then he said something else. It was just, but it's like, why in the fuck? So you're telling me $30 an hour is minimum wage, and I understand she's talking about Washington. I hope, because if I make $30 an hour at minimum wage here, I'm just gonna go fucking work in McDonald's.
Yeah.
No, you won't, because McDonald's fucking sucks.
Money though is what I'm
Big
getting
Mac.
at. It's easy money.
No, it's not easy money. McDonald's is a shit job.
Oh,
I'm not
it
gonna lie.
fucking isn't. I worked there. Fucking shit's
I
easy.
worked at McDonald's.
No, man. You work at McDonald's in the city? It's not easy. It's a shit
Yeah,
job.
it's not
No,
hard.
man. The job itself's not hard. The mental fucking shit you go through for people yelling at you all the time.
Or you just want to punch somebody in the face by the end of the day. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
I
every
get yelled
day.
at working at Starbucks.
I mean, I worked
We
fucking. I
talked
worked
about that
McDonald's.
last week, Dina, actually.
I worked
Chris,
at
we
McDonald's.
talked
I worked
about that.
fucking
talked
Domino's
about that
Pizza. I worked fucking Baskin. I pretty much every job I've ever worked at, I've been yelled at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it wasn't your fault,
Yeah.
right?
And it's like, why don't you have a wife? I got a job.
What do you mean you don't have whipped cream?
If I had to leave my job where I get yelled at to come home to get yelled at, I think I would commit murder.
Actually, Basement told us a story about how he got fired from his pizza job. That was
Yeah.
fucking.
I did get fired from a pizza job for no reason. Fucking.
Did you walk out because you were creatively unhappy?
But I left my belt on the table.
Then your pants fell down and you had to waddle your way back to your car?
Yeah. Oh
To
my
pull your
God.
pants down because you put your dick in the pizza box.
He did not.
No, somebody else did though.
Somebody.
Somebody else is spurting loads. Ah, my God, it's probably the most disgusting woman I've ever met in my life. Where she's like basically gargling jizz and talking to me. It was the worst.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyways, she spit on the pizza, said jizz. So whoever ate that ate jizz.
Jesus.
Stories
I'm all
from
for this
Domino's.
$30 an hour thing as long as I make 80. That's all I care about. Just thought I'd point that out.
You make what? What did you say?
So if they're gonna make minimum wage $30 an hour, I'm all about making $80 an hour.
Give
right?
me $100 an hour and I'll be okay.
Yes.
Or 70 or anything
Yes.
more than what I'm currently making. I mean, like, do I agree that minimum wage isn't like livable? Yes, but the problem economically is not solved by throwing money, because you just increase the cost of everything.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
$30
So
not.
you like what's the point in increasing income if you increase everything else, because nothing changes. You have to be a really stupid to not understand that, in my mind.
I heard what I said, but we talked about Grizzly last week.
Chris
Yeah.
can suck my fucking schlongus.
Yeah, he's on trial now. Is where he can say.
No, we talked
You
about
know-
it last.
He knows best.
No, upping wages doesn't solve anything, and lowering wages doesn't solve anything either.
My boat name's gonna be the SS minimum wage.
My boat name is gonna be Chrisley Knows Best, and then I hope I fucking drown.
If you stay home and let the government pay for you, Tian Kupner, then the government can tell you what you can and cannot. I don't want that.
What's up, DJ Curtis?
What's up, DJ?
Hey, DJ Curse.
I just wanted to bring that up. It was one thing that you know, I don't want it to become a political conversation. It's just one of those things that I found it funny. I found it funny that this woman is running for Congress. And trying
Yeah,
to tell everybody
that to me is ridiculous, because it's just a pandering tweet, which is like, if you have a brain, you're like, what?
Right.
Like, Jesus, man. You're fucking dumb as shit.
Right. Yep.
Oh, man. I mean, so I think the only thing else on the list for this week's show is everyone's favorite discussion, everyone's favorite podcast that I force everyone to be a part of every single Monday, which is Marvel. So apparently, now since that Disney Plus has acquired almost all the Marvel properties, they've decided to take one of the more popular shows that was not part of their original lineup, and it looks like they're going to be doing a continuation / reboot or whatever have you of the Daredevil series from the Netflix Netflix programs. So obviously they bought Daredevil, Iron Fist, Sarah Jones, and Punisher.
Bought and just owned, and the contract ran out. Is what I feel like with Netflix.
Right. So I don't know.
Jessica Jones? There's a Sarah Jones?
I'm sorry, Jessica Jones is what I mean. Jesus fucking Christ. I was reading. Yeah, they're cousins.
Okay.
Right. Fucking stupid. So supposedly they're going to be doing it. It's going to be a continuation of the series, as far as I know. But you're right, Basement. You're right. It wasn't a matter of like they didn't never own the rights. It's just that they rebought them after they moved them over to Disney Plus once the contract with Netflix came out. Ran out. So it says, although Daredevil is part of the MCU, the series debuted on Netflix and only made a fleeting references to the MCU. It ran 3 seasons before it and all the other Marvel Netflix shows were canceled. Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, The Defenders, and The Punisher were all removed from Netflix in March, days before they were added to Disney Plus. The deal now the deal the now defunct Marvel television unit struck with Netflix included a clause barring Marvel and Disney from using the Netflix characters for 2 years after the shows were canceled. That is why it wasn't until last year they started began popping up in other MCU projects. So now, I mean, spoiler alert, we have seen at least 2 cameos in a movie and a show in the new, in the MCU that have referenced or used characters from these series. I mean, I've seen most of the Daredevil show. It was fantastic from what I saw.
Daredevil was great.
I didn't see all of it. I missed out on the last season.
Did you watch Punisher?
Yes.
Yeah, Punisher was awesome.
My big thing is I can't wait to see them done worse. Because, I mean, Netflix did a really good job with Daredevil and Punisher. I don't give a fuck about Iron Fist was ass, but that character is probably like the thing is the characters that they did poorly are characters that were better fitted for Disney Plus anyway. But the characters that were darker with more like, I guess, more to their character story, they did fucking excellently. And I'm not looking forward to see the Disney Plus version of Daredevil. Because Disney Plus ain't great.
I mean, I think it all depends on who they get to direct it and produce it. Basically, from what I understand, those are using the same cast as the Netflix show, right?
Yep.
Heather, we've seen Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm. But they're adding more adult stuff to it now, so they could do it.
I thought I read somewhere that the same director was coming back, although I could be wrong here. It says the Netflix series was developed by Drew Goddard and also starred Deborah Ann Wolfe as Karen Page and Eldon Henson. I could have sworn they said that it's the same directors and writers.
I thought I heard that too.
I mean, the thing that sets it like very far apart that I don't think Disney Plus is going to uphold is like any action scene. It was a long cut. It was akin to like if you've seen Old Boy, the I think it was a Korean movie originally, or a Japanese movie, or a Chinese movie, but not the remake, which was terrible. But like the long running action scenes that was a selling point for me for this story that ain't gonna happen on Disney Plus. I can guarantee that they're gonna be chopped up, fucking Liam Neeson climbing a fence.
I mean, I think that it can be
bad and it
salvaged. No, I think they can. I thought not all of them, but the Marvel Disney Plus shows
have been
have been
majorly
very average. I'm not gonna lie. There's been peaks and valleys, but they've been very very. I even say a little subpar in terms of like not horrible, but just like meh.
Marvel has turned into WWE.
Yep.
Where mediocre is enough. That should be their
It
slogan.
still makes them money, so yes, of course, mediocre is enough.
Yeah,
But
but
I would say-
that's terrible, man. When you're
But-
you're adopting properties that you didn't build, mediocre should not be enough.
But one of my favorites though, one of my more recent favorites is
Gonna
Moon Knight.
no Punisher ever on Disney Plus. It's gonna be terrible.
Are you-
Yeah,
well, no, they could. Oh, you mean creatively? Yeah.
You cannot do Punisher on Disney Plus.
I will admit that is probably the one character that I would be worried about.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Even
I mean,
Daredevil to an extent, because like the darker side of it made more sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean we are, but I mean it could go
It's
well.
not gonna be. It's gonna be bad, in my mind.
Disney already has some rated R stuff.
Disney also has
Yeah,
a lot of shitty fucking things that they've done.
Oh, can I just quickly say, mini review? I did watch the new Chippendale movie that came out, the one I was telling you guys about with all the fucking cameos. It was fun. Do not read much into it. Like the trailer is pretty accurate of what you're gonna get from it. So, but it was still fucking fun. I still enjoyed it. But anywho,
I think it's going to be a fun show. It's made for kids, so I'm not gonna.
I don't trust Disney.
you just don't trust Disney right now, which I don't.
do not trust Disney at all. I think
I can't hear you over the sound of money.
Majority of what I've seen from Disney has been, in one word, disappointing.
You have high hopes.
Yeah, in one word, disappointing.
Are they doing the show based on the Chippendale show or movie?
The new movie that came out.
Are they doing the show based on it?
I don't think so, but I'm just saying in general, I still enjoyed it. It was, it's not a very deep movie. I'll just put it that way.
It looks just like a fun ride.
Well, Gina, they did upgrade Disney Plus now so that if you want access to all the content, because those Marvel Netflix shows are now on there and most of them are rated like MA or R, I guess, you have to put like a pin now if you want access to that. So I think, which I will admit is a smart move, because not only do you get that access to that content, but it's Disney kind of doing like a beta test or now
and keeping
right.
it.
Well, I mean, that's
Yes.
the thing. I signed up for Disney Plus, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" and then I realized it came with a parental figure or a parental lock.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus. And I took it off, and I was like, yeah.
I mean,
But-
rightfully so that they put it on for you. So, Gina did. Listen, don't be mad at Pierre. Gina did throw a very interesting article over in the Discord. I'm not sure if you guys had a chance to take a quick peek at it. I did, and so I figured this is a great little segue since we're talking about. Actually, this is a horrible segue.
No.
Apparently, I mean, okay, let's go with that route. An Oklahoma state representative proposed legislation that would mandate young men to get mandatory vasectomies.
What?
Yep.
The fuck?
Oh yeah.
This is
In
not
Oklahoma-
coming.
Abortion laws.
This is not coming from China.
Nope. An Oklahoma state rep proposed an idea for legislation that would make vasectomies mandatory for young men in the state. Speaking before a floor of legislators, State Representative Mickey Dolan said on Thursday that he is thinking about introducing the legislation next year. Quote, I invite you to co-author a bill that I'm considering next year that would mandate that each male.
They're just saying we don't want children at all.
I guess not. It said they would mandate each male
That
when they
makes
reach.
no fucking sense.
I wouldn't
It's
trust
like
a guy with that
a
name.
population we've given up.
When they reach puberty, get a mandatory vasectomy that's only reversible when they reach the point of financial and emotional stability. If you
No,
think that's crazy, then I think
you know
maybe you
what?
understand how 50% of Oklahomans feel as well.
That's fucking stupid. The
No
fact
fucking
that like
thank you.
surgery has become so normalized, where it should be something that you go to, and in an extreme situation, where it's like we're gonna fucking cut everybody's fucking nuts We're gonna clamp them. We're gonna clamp those vas deferens. That shit should not happen.
I think this is the dumb fucking idea. These are our politicians, people. These are our fucking
I mean,
politicians.
outside of this and the girl that wanted
idea.
everybody paid in lump sums of gold for working at McDonald's. I don't know, man. This what's going on? What is going on over there?
So this law would then tell everybody that tell young men that they have to get vasectomies.
Yep. And they would only be reversed when they reach emotional and financial stability, apparently.
Which, who's judging? Who's judging this? What do you have, Time Baby, the fucking overlord? I mean, you are ready, my son, to move forward. Let me unclamp your vas deferens.
I did so bad. This is just so bad.
I mean,
so many.
Why are you surgically doing anything on a kid?
Okay, so number one, it's not even just that. Number one, now
that's a big part.
Well, basement. Yes, you are correct. I said that's not the only reason, though. You put this in perspective. Every women bitch. You women, not you, but women are bitching today about. Oh, he's waiting for me to get backhanded. Look, counter. I'm not talking about Heather because she agrees with me.
It's only a matter of time.
With this issue,
how are your vas deferens?
Women are complaining about it's my body, my choice. But we're going to tell men that they have to get a vasectomy. They shouldn't have a decision in that fucking matter. Do you see the hypocrisy? Do you see the hypocrisy of the fucking Democrats and their fucking liberal?
My thing is, when did we lose the ability to just let people be people? Instead of all of a sudden, I feel like mankind is we have to militarize people against their choices. No, we don't.
Just wait.
We really don't.
Yep. I think did anybody see the Trevor Noah thing blowing up on Twitter? By the way, I know we were talking about the abortion thing a little bit, about the state versus government argument that we were talking about last week on the show.
Yeah, states' rights versus federal law.
Yes.
State law. Yeah.
Did you see? So he did a.
Watch that fucking guy because I think he's a fucking idiot. But go ahead.
Fair enough.
You
so
open your horizons.
So he basically, in a clever way, kind of like, well, I understand why state laws happen because it happens at the state level, and he goes, but you know what? That's more of a county thing, right? I mean, really, sometimes there's more counties involved, and some county, maybe we have each county have it, but counties also, that I feel like it's too broad too, because I feel like there should be sections in there, maybe per street, and then per house, per family, per person. And so he, to kind of compel his argument that it should be a person's choice. Just saying that was a clever metaphor or a clever way to kind of make his point across, in my opinion. But I wasn't sure if anybody else got that because I saw it trending on Twitter a couple days ago.
I think a lot of people that are trying to control a choice are assuming a tsunami version of what they hate happening, which is technically not true. I mean, yes, there are people that do terrible things, but there are people that do terrible things all the fucking time, man. I mean, in my mind, most people that get abortions don't feel great about doing it, and are also doing it because they're not ready. It was unexpected. Or it was unwanted to begin, the sexual intercourse was unwanted to begin with. I think there is a very small population of people that are looking at it as a prophylactic last step.
Yeah, it's a small number, but they are out there, yes.
Yeah, but it's so
I'm pregnant.
Small. It's so fucking small.
No, I wasn't ready.
I'm sorry, Rayshawn. I had the look in my eye.
Oh,
No, I was referring to Trevor Noah from The Daily Show, Tea and Couponer. That's what I was referring to.
Yeah.
But
Where do
yeah,
you fall?
so we-
Where do
we-
you
we-
fall on the abortion?
ain't nobody clipping my
Spectrum.
son's.
are you asking me?
I'm asking you, Connor. Where do you fall on the abortion spectrum?
So
Abort
I think it is an individual. So the way I see it is this: like I see it more as a choice of the first of all, let me just preface this by saying, I feel I have no weight in the conversation whatsoever. For obviously, I do not have the organs or gender that is specifically affected by this debate. So just throwing that vibe out there first and
Your
foremost.
penis makes a baby.
Yeah, but I'm not the one getting scraped. So, yeah.
It takes two to tango.
I'm going to say. Go ahead, Connor.
I was gonna say, let him finish.
That being said, I think that if it can't, I think it is up to the woman's choice. But I also don't think that it should be used as a form of birth control, in the sense of, oh, hey, we're not going to use a condom. We're not going to use this. We're just going to do this instead. I disagree with that. In those other cases of extreme circumstances and situations like that, I think those are like the only, in my opinion, times for discussion about that.
I mean,
Correct.
there are extreme cases, but I'm with you.
And I said this last week. I cannot tell her what she can and cannot do with her body.
Yep.
However, she should at least have that conversation with the partner.
You are 100% correct in my mind.
If somebody that just fucking says, "Well, I'm just gonna fuck you, and I'm gonna get pregnant. I'm gonna have an abortion," without telling you.
I mean, to be honest with you,
I know it's your body.
the woman
Great.
can do whatever she wants, but like respectfully, just talking to your like whoever was involved in the situation is needed.
I just think that there at least should be a conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell her. I said that. I think I said this, and you got to remember I had sweet tarts last week. But I think I did say to the effect that I don't agree with it. I could tell you what I would do in my situation if I was giving birth. I'd tell you what I would do.
Yeah.
Great mental image, by the way, but go ahead.
I'm not going to tell you. You have to just have that conversation. Nobody has
I just feel like
conversation.
me hugging JP from the back.
Wants to
holding
have
Scully.
that conversation about the race issue, but nobody wants to have that conversation about the race issue. You gotta have that conversation. You can't not have that conversation, because then you're kind of just.
I mean, right now, like we live in a world that's not ready to have conversations, but ready to persecute everybody.
Right.
Which is fucked up, man. Because in the end, in my mind, I'm not harboring the baby. It's not my body, but at the same time, I'd like to at least talk about it with hopefully my significant other, not some random fucker on the side. But I mean, that could happen, and it would be like, hey. But the thing is, for me, like it gets difficult because I wouldn't be able to not be part of that baby's life.
I think
I just wouldn't.
that, and I forgot what I was going to say.
Take a sweet tart, you'll feel better.
No.
I think that's true to an extent, especially with young people. But eventually, responsibility creeps up on you and fucks you in the ass, man.
I will say this when it comes to the abortion issue. I believe that when a child starts their heartbeat, they are then a living human being. You should not be able to, unless there's an extenuating circumstance.
I don't think there is like a wave of people aborting kids that are full grown or partially grown, right? You know what I mean?
That's not the point that I'm driving.
No,
What
no,
I'm
no.
saying is
I'm just
there are
saying in
people
general.
out there that will say, well, it's my body, my choice. Well, what about that beating heart that is inside of you that you could have
Given up for adoption.
given up for adoption? No, this child has a beating heart.
I feel like I'm for me, I'm up to the idea of giving birth to like not knowing what's happening until you know what's happening, and then making a decision. So like in the first 4 weeks or so, you'll get the understanding. Maybe 2 months, you'll get the understanding. I missed a couple periods and shit like that, so you will get the understanding that you might be pregnant.
Okay, so Gina just said it. So most people don't know that they're pregnant by 4 weeks. Well, you did have fucking sex, but let's go make sure that you're not fucking pregnant.
I think a
How
lot of
about
people know they're
Just
may be
saying.
pregnant earlier than that.
How about you just don't have sex if you're not looking to raise a
You know
baby?
you're pregnant by 2 weeks.
I mean, then you might as well be a fucking ant.
That's out there that can verify that.
I only reproduce when it's willed. I mean, people
Well,
have
if
sex.
you're gonna have sex,
Have
condom or no condom, just
Well, I
expect
mean,
a child.
The
It's
thing is,
gonna happen.
people have sex with condom. Child.
That's what. Yeah. I just said
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I guess like the idea is just don't kill kids.
Yeah, don't.
Here.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not against abortion.
We just took a complete left turn. This article was about giving vasectomy to 12
This
year olds.
article
I'm
was
still
about
focusing on the Netflix part, you know?
This article was about
Daredevil.
Daredevil.
I'm still concerned about the Red Ranger.
I do not feel like. I mean, I feel like there needs to be a consensus of like mankind to say when like life is life.
That will never happen.
I know, because there's gonna be a lot of people that actually
It's just
life begins
truth.
when I look in my wife's eye.
It's the unfortunate truth that'll just never happen. But
Yeah.
on that note, on ending it on a high note here, I don't think there's anything else. I think we're in pretty good shape to wrap up this week's No Bucks Given if everyone's good.
Unless you want to drop a load on us.
I'm all out of loads to drop after that left turn.
The SS load to drop.
Mm-hmm.
SS load dropper.
Your SS drop load.
You're
Yeah,
not
keep it
looking
clear.
Penny dropper.
It's also
It's
May
fine.
2-4 weekend for any Canadian out there that understands
Oh
me.
my
'Cause
god, you and your
these
backwards
guys-
lingo. I don't get
These
understand.
guys just don't fucking get me. They think I'm some sort of cyclops.
I had my period the other day. Worst fucking pain I ever dealt with.
Same. I also had my period.
By the way, I
Unbelievable.
just noticed what Basement did to his picture on the stream just now. Which
It's morphin'
is
time.
oh, you definitely morphed. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining us in the chat live here on youtube.com/Horny Goat and listening to us on the Horny Goat Podcasting Network, where of course you listen to us on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, and so many others. Again, if you're Apple users, make sure you give us that 5-star Dave Meltzer rating to help boost up the podcast on that platform. I want to thank Trek for joining us, of course, Canadian Basement, the Power Couple, JP and Heather, Ray Sean for popping in, and everybody who joined us live in the chat. We will be back, I believe, Monday? Question mark?
Yeah, we gotta watch Spider-Man fuck his aunt.
Fade the pan.
Spider-Man Homecoming on the Marvel Roundtable this coming Monday. We might do something tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure yet. We'll see how everyone's feeling / if they're tired and whatnot. But
It's May 2-4.
oh god.
Slap you so good.
But anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate the continued love and support. We'll see you guys at the very least on Monday for the Marvel Roundtable. This has been Horny Goat. No Bucks Give episode 20. Peace out, bitches.
Au revoir.
Fuckers.
You gotta say it in French.
Goodbye, fuckers.